millions who receive Social Security payments will see a 2.5% cost of living increase in their monthly checks. That translates into an average increase of more than $50 a month. This year, recipients received a 3.2% increase in benefits. That's compared to a historic 8.7% increase last year. Meantime, reports show the program's trust fund won't be able to pay full benefits beginning in the year 2035. With just weeks until Election Day, officials across the U.S. are combating a variety of challenges to voting. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports on their response to the threat environment.
There have been challenges, but that's why election officials do the work.
Threats to U.S. elections are popping up around the country. This week, the FBI arrested a man in Oklahoma who officials say was plotting an Election Day attack in the name of ISIS. In Washington state, police responded to a suspicious device near a ballot drop box that was smoking. And the destruction left behind from the hurricanes is complicating the voting process in those states.
In good news, election officials have been planning for a safe and secure election come what may.
Liz Howard is a former top Virginia election official who works at the Brennan Center's Elections and Government program. Howard says officials have boosted the physical security of their offices and polling places while also protecting voting systems from cyber attacks.
They are committed to doing their job.
Howard says election officials are now also collaborating more closely with law enforcement and other local government officials to make sure their staff, voters, and the process remain safe.
It's a very complex threat environment.
Ben Hovland, the chairman of the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, says leaning on local officials is also important for voters to combat misinformation.
When you see something that feels outrageous, maybe something that's making you mad, that's very likely actors who don't have our democracy at the front of mind.
Hovland says election workers are the exact opposite of that, stressing to voters,
I have no doubt in my mind that this will be a free and fair election.
In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
The Biden administration is investing an additional $2.6 billion for drinking water upgrades and lead pipe replacements. The plan also calls for better lead testing requirements and mandating a complete inventory of lead water pipes. The EPA says replacing these pipes will result in better health outcomes for all Americans. Estimates show nearly 9 million American homes currently have lead pipes. The recent hurricane sparked a lot of misinformation, and lawmakers on both sides and the White House are working to debunk many of these conspiracy theories. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has more.
As Floridians endure Hurricane Milton, President Biden is pushing back on a flood of misinformation about that storm.
Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. That's simply not true.
And Hurricane Helene.
They're saying people impacted by these storms will receive $750 in cash and no more. That's simply not true.
President Biden says
former President Trump has led the onslaught of lies.
Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on X, someone is controlling the weather.
It's beyond ridiculous. It's got to stop.
When asked to respond, the Trump campaign said it's listening to the storm victims who are critical of the federal government's response. The Biden administration says they have never seen as much misinformation about a hurricane until now.
That can literally lead to people risking their lives, to people losing their lives.
Even Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis slammed misinformation.
Be careful about the nonsense that gets circulated.
The Republican congressman who represents the area of North Carolina, devastated by Helene, even issued an 8-point press release debunking conspiracy theories about the storm response. The White House is asking people to get their information from trusted sources like FEMA. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Up next, we'll have a look at the week ahead.